share with someone.
Oh,
Share with someone.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to this month's installment of Poetic. Two spots are coming music. I'm so double plus thrilled. For those of you who don't know, my name is Janet, and we do this on the first Sunday of every month from 3:30 to 5:30, and I am pleased to have you here with us. I usually start off with a poem, and so I just thought I'd randomly pick out something from a book. This is a collection book that was done in the past from cc&d magazine called One Solitary Word, and it has chapbooks and things in the back, and because a long time ago I decided to write poems for every element in the periodic table, I've got a bunch of them in here, and I thought I would read one of them that is in this book for you right now. You get to have a science lesson too because you're at the bookstore. This is element 109 in the periodic table, MT. This is Meitnerium.
Meitnerium? Do I know him?
You know, I'm driving along and I'm like, I'm supposed to write a poem about Meitnerium? What, I mean, like, this is one that's so high up that they know nothing about these elements, and they only little bits. I'm like, so it's who discovered it, blah, 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 and that's how I was able to do this poem. This is 109, this is Meitnerium. Performance artists and feminists alike will jump at the chance to explain that women aren't treated fairly in this world. Women in the workplace make 70-some cents to the man's dollar, and if they're married, they're still expected to take care of the kids and cook, and they cook their meals and they have to clean the house. As a woman, I can tell you that I'm objectified nearly every time I go outside for a long walk when horn honks and catcalls come my way. And objectively, it is tough when the cards seem to be stacked against you as a woman trying to get ahead in the world. And I hate to be the person who squashes the ego of all women out there, but if you think it's rough for you women now, think of the uphill battles that you'd have to climb if you lived, say, a century ago. That was a time when women didn't have a right to vote, and why on earth would they want to go to school unless they wanted to be a teacher or a nurse maybe? But there are places at home to live, to agree with what the breadwinner says, the husband, the father, the patriarch, the master. Because not all of you may have a scientific mind, well, one woman, Lisa Meitner, born to a Jewish family in Austria 10 years before Hitler was blocked in so many ways from achieving his goals in his life, because she actually got her doctorate degree in physics in the days when women weren't even allowed to attend schools of higher education. You know, Professor Planck in Berlin, who usually rejected any woman wanting to attend his lectures, allowed her in. And in a year, Meitner even became his assistant. She later worked without a salary before she worked in Prague as an associate professor. She was the first woman in Germany to become a full professor in physics, and she even co-discovered nuclear fission with Otto Hahn. I mean, Albert Einstein even praised her by calling her the German Marie Curie. And yeah, as Adolf Hitler came to power, and most of her colleagues emigrated from Germany after they were forced to resign their posts, Meitner just immersed herself in her work until she witnessed the Anschluss, the annexation of Austria into Germany, and she felt forced in 1938 to flee to Holland, then Sweden. But a chemist where she worked, Kurt Hess, was an avid Nazi, and so he even informed the authorities that she was about to flee, and so she was lucky she could even escape. Meitner even said that she escaped with only 10 marks. But before she left, Otto Hahn gave her a diamond ring for her escape in case she needed to bribe some frontier guard. She didn't need to use it in her escape, so the ring was later worn by her nephew's wife. But after her assistance with nuclear fission, she didn't want to think of this being used as a weapon, and she refused to offer to work on the Manhattan Project. The sad thing is that she co-discovered nuclear fission, but it was her male coworker, Otto Hahn, who was awarded the 1944 Nobel Prize in Chemistry for the discovery of nuclear fission. Some historians say Meitner should have been awarded the Nobel Prize with Hahn, but keep in mind that this was a man's world back then. So, though she thought she was nominated for the Nobel Prize 3 times, she had received awards in later years, in addition to having craters on the moon and on Venus named after her, in addition to element 109. And yeah, element 109, Meitnerium, is a highly radioactive synthetic element. Its radioactivity makes me think of how that nuclear fission that she co-discovered with Otto Hahn. They also discovered the element protactinium, but when it came to naming element 109, it was the only proposed name, making Meitnerium the only element named specifically after a non-mythological woman. And really, there is so little of this Meitnerium that people can only guess at its properties. But learning and discovering seems to be something Meitner was all about, facing all odds to achieve so much.